Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Yeah, it's a live presentation. We're right here talking to you all the way from our homes. Yeah, that's right, our homes. But we're gonna have a pretty good show tonight. We got a lot of people coming on. Mostly personalities of our hosts that are trapped inside their heads. So we're going to basically bring on Mr. Mark Sweetman, who is your host for the off night. You hit it, the off night.
Hey, thank you very much. All right. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me get the music. Oh, man, I'm getting so good at this. This is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
It's the off night. That's Jason you hear because I didn't take his sound down. I just took his picture down. And we'll be getting everybody out there. I do want to talk to Andy, so let me get Andy out here. Hold on. Hey, there he is. Hey.
Hi, guys.
So how's your week been?
Week's been pretty good. I drove pretty well. Got enough money on Saturday to be able to sort of hold off a little bit on Sunday.
Okay.
But things are working forward. We're moving forward. I got some comments from the people that came to see me last week. So
okay.
They gave me some helpful hints. One of them is get funnier.
We got an idea. Get funnier.
Get funnier. There we go. Yeah. Should I try baloney my shoes like Steve Martin said? I think
okay, I remember that. Yeah.
But that's a possibility. But it's not too bad. And last night I tried to do Christopher Walken and it went up. I couldn't get it in the right timbre. He's a very difficult one.
Right.
And then I went with doing Jimmy Stewart. And if for any dialogue that has a ethnic person, I'm going to use Jimmy Stewart as that person. Figure that it won't offend anybody. Sort of like if say you have to do a Samuel Jackson quote from so Samuel Jackson just go, yeah, look at Brad there. Look at big bad Brad. Yeah. You think of Rachel? Yeah, we're going to shoot you. That's what we're going to do. We're going to shoot you. Okay, and it's like that'll work. And,
I'm getting just sick and tired of these gosh darn snakes on this gosh darn plane.
Yeah, those snakes are terrible. I tell you that. You know what I'm saying? All right. Badges. We don't need no stinky badges. I don't need no badges. I don't understand what you're talking about. Get the heck out of here. I'm not that.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Andy. All right. As we always do at the beginning of our show, we're going to bring out Susan for her poem. And here's my lovely bride. Not with me tonight in a different studio, but look, the lighting is the same. We got the same lighting.
I'm in an undisclosed location.
Yep. I should have put undisclosed location on your name. Oh yeah, I can still do that. Hold on just a second. We'll get you
undisclosed location.
We'll get you an undisclosed location. Here it comes.
Do you want the poem or do you want to type?
No, you can give us the poem while I'm doing this.
Okay. Here's your poem with news from this week. 5 Americans are on their way to D.C. from Iran today. Held for years, Qatar negotiated prisoner swap. Hooray! Sikh leader in British Columbia was assassinated in June. Allegations against India's government today Trudeau has hewn. Hunter Biden has now sued the IRS. Alleged confidential tax info was disclosed to the press. A Pennsylvania state park ranked best for fall colors this year. And best site number 2, Tequamative Falls. Give a cheer. That's your poem.
All right.
Tequamative Falls is in Michigan, by the way. Yeah, very beautiful. Also called the Root Beer Falls because it looks like root beer.
All the water.
You know why they call it the Root Beer Falls? You know what it's calling that?
The tannin is in the water.
There you go. Exactly.
And the foam.
But it is very beautiful in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. If you've never been, you should visit.
Well,
And
actually, there is a radio thing. They're trying to sell the ride there. That goes up the river. The couple is trying to sell that particular ride. The train trip up and the ferry trip up.
they're
No,
trying to
we
get
took
rid of it.
No, they're not
Susan
trying to
and
get
I
rid
did-
of it. They're trying to sell it to somebody who wants to take it over. They've had it for 50
Oh,
years.
yeah, we
Susan-
went on
we
that,
went on that.
some years ago. I think it was actually the year before they had terrible fires up there,
Mm.
and it was so beautiful. The mosquitoes are bad when you go hiking down the path, but that was the only bad thing I have to say about it is take your bug spray. It was very, very fun. Lots of wildlife, many,
Mhm.
many eagles and other critters on the shores as the boat chugged just before it went over the falls. It would park.
Yeah,
And you disembark and hike. It was very beautiful.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. You had 3 modes of transportation. You had the train, then the ferry, and then the hike. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. So anyway, they've got that. They're going to try and sell it. They try to sell it this year, but the person bounced out on it. So they're going to try and get it.
Did you get a whiff of what the price was?
No, I did not, because it was on the radio station, so I didn't quite hear what they're asking for it. But
I mean, combined
Jason,
together,
not sure what those fingers mean. Are you doing sign language?
No.
he's probably trying to type something.
He's
little
trying to give you the
impromptu.
middle finger there, Mark.
A little impromptu. All I
Every-
wanted to say about that thing. Hey, listen, I'm a ferry that's gone up the river.
Yeah. Hello. Hey,
Hello.
I'm interested. I'm interested in what Wes has to say about all this.
No, you're not. Are you?
There he is.
There he is.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Oh, there.
There he is. Hi, Wes.
There he is.
Hi, I got the
Hey.
perfect face for radio, right? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's nice to
said
see you
that?
wearing
Somebody
men's
said
clothing
that.
again.
What's that?
Nice to see you wearing men's clothing again.
Yeah, thank you. Nice. It's an off day.
Yeah. Okay.
Old Navy.
Oshkosh. Oshkosh Bagosh.
There you go. Throw out a few names. Maybe you get a sponsor.
Ah, there
Oh.
you go.
Yeah. How
We're
about
looking.
how about my Garanimals? Huh?
Mark can't
Yeah.
match clothing even if it was Garanimals.
Yeah.
So
Just for
Susan,
knowing what Garanimals is, he's going on the watch
Yeah.
list. So
So Susan, you're in an undisclosed location. I know you're not in the witness protection program because your face isn't blurred. So.
Oh, her face is blurred.
All right, I'm here all week. All right, yeah.
yeah, all right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Maybe you need new glasses if my face is blurred.
No,
I
it's
said
not
I
blurred.
said it isn't blurred.
Oh, it
it
isn't
isn't blurred.
blurred.
It is not blurred. That's why I
Well,
Oh,
maybe perhaps in the very near future we can tell you about our exciting
Oh, yeah.
August,
yeah,
but not right now.
yeah, got it.
We're reading
But
poetry
we're
to
going to
Dick
have a story
Cheney.
to tell.
All right. Well,
All right. Nice to see you all.
thanks for the
Good
poem.
night.
you.
Thanks for
You're welcome.
calling.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right. That unless Ned shows up or Lisa, this should be it. So.
Oh, no.
Okay, let's get right to it. The
No,
first thing to
Sam.
talk about today's show was Andy's big blowout announcement last week when he introduced the show about the Lions winning. So, how do you feel about that now, Andy? That
I
big
still
Lions-
got the mug. I'm still on top of it.
Oh, okay, all right.
And it's they did have that sort of like long stare. The thing is, I looked at that. What did he put $200 onto the Lions?
Uh
What's his name last night? The comic.
Blaine.
Blaine Drews lost.
Blaine
$200.
Drew.
Yeah.
He bought a jersey, put $200 in I think, but he had that long stare that we all get after the first disappointment.
It's
That
the
sort of like
Lion.
1,000-yard stare, like
He
I-
lost his Lions
I
virtue.
know. It's
Yeah.
so fun. It's so funny seeing a 19-year-old Lions fan trying to cope with all this stuff that we've had getting into our 60s and having this our whole life. The last time the Lions won the championship was
56.
57.
yeah.
And it was they won the championship, and that was when the championship was played before Christmas.
Oh.
And so my mother hadn't even gotten the engagement ring, because that was the Christmas my father gave my mother her engagement ring. So my parents had just gotten engaged after to celebrate the Lions championship. Of course, they just, she said yes, because how could she not? That was their 4th championship in the 50s. So how could you say no?
That's right. It's always going to be like this.
Yeah. Let's get married. It'll always be this way.
It'll always be like the Lions will
You see,
always win.
In 57, my mother was celebrating the birth of her first child and her 19th birthday. So, hey.
I used to do a bit in my act, right? So, everybody gets a copy of their newspaper from the day they were born. I go, I went back and got the one from 9 months before I was born. Yeah. It was opening day. The Tigers beat the Yankees.
Yeah. In my case, I was
celebration.
I was a Christmas present, 1960. I was told. Actually, I was told that I was conceived in a moment of passion, inspired by my mom bending over to get the laundry. Apparently, my father was stirred to great passion.
So you're I guess they would call that. I guess they would call you a washboard baby.
Washboard baby, wash day baby, something along those lines. Of oh Jesus, not again! Don't you people know how to pull out? I mean,
I believe. I am surprised your name wasn't Spin Cycle.
I do know this. My mother's nickname was first in line for the birth control pill. I know that. And she used to tell a delightful and enchanting story about how the birth control very nearly killed my father. Maybe I've told this, but apparently back then they were still a little bit not calibrated quite so nicely as they are now. And her doctor asked how she was doing on the pill, and she said, well, I'm fine, but I might kill Al. Al is my dad. And said, really, why is it? He goes, well, it's easy. He comes home and I fuck him. Then I let him take his coat off and I fuck him again. And the man just can't keep up the pace. So it was, I know, by the way, it's 8:12. I know we're still in the kid hour, but at any rate, no, nevertheless, my younger brother came along, despite their best efforts, although he's the one who turned out okay. So I guess there's that, I mean, now, do you see families with 3 kids anymore?
Who's that?
Do you even see families with 3 kids anymore? I mean, I know you're a bit of an exception there, Mark. You adopted a whole passel.
3 kids. It seems like 2 is the
maximum.
When you see 3 is when the first 2 are of one gender. So if they have 2 girls, everybody does one more. They might be 3 girls. So we see a lot of families with 3 girls, 3 boys, but we never see any with 3 girls and a boy. You know what I mean? They don't go to that. Yeah. They figure, why chance it now? We're trying to get the
right. Wesley.
My neighbor. She had like 7 girls, and then she tried one more time and got a boy. So.
Wow!
Well, there you go.
7 girls, one boy.
Yes. My God!
Oh my God! But you're growing up, as a kid, you're growing up around a ton of estrogen. Man, that's
that doesn't destroy your psychology. Yeah. I mean, my God,
Talk about the hand-me-downs,
About to say, going to school, but and well, in this day and age, I mean, I suppose you'd blend rather nicely. I mean, when the gym coach is complimenting you on the appropriate combination of skirt and belly shirt, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Isn't it great that we have 60-year-old men who can discuss modern fashion for the kids?
Well, here I got something to talk to Wesley. Wesley about. Wesley?
Yes, sir.
There's a passage that got memorized, Ezekiel 25:17. Path of the righteous man is beset on all sides. The inequity of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men.
Yeah,
there you go. All right.
That's it.
Is that what you want me to do?
That's it.
Don't leave out Jackie Brown either. Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson had some great lines in Jackie Brown, most notably when the first confrontation with him and Jackie Brown, and he asked that question that I think we've all asked at one time or another when we're alone in a room with a woman and you hear a clicking noise, and he asks, "What is that?" She goes, "What do you think it is?" She says, "I think it's a gun pressed against my dick." He goes, "That's exactly what it is. Now get your hands from around my throat." They'll throw in a few more words I'm not going to use. But you should definitely look up Jackie Brown. It's an underrated Tarantino film.
I would like to hear Andy do like some kind of dramatic reading in Christopher Walken. That would be priceless, I think.
Yeah.
For some reason, last night I couldn't get the timbre for the voice.
Yeah.
Something from Hemingway, something from The Sun Never Sets, or The Old Man in the Sea. Yeah, I mean,
The Old Man in the Sea. Okay, I'll come up with something.
Even a poem or something, Shakespeare.
Nothing involving Nantucket.
Now, what's the line? What's the line you do, Andy, to get into Walken? What is the line? There's every impressionist has a line that they do to get into.
I go something like, "How? What does it goes? I got a fever."
I love that shit. Yeah.
Cowbells.
Cowbell.
I have a fever.
Right.
Cowbell. Now, can you?
Is Christopher Walken hard to do?
Yeah.
Seems like it would be.
He's got high temper, low temper. It's the low temper can be lost, and it's like.
Yeah, and he always switches it up too, so he can't be predicted. Which makes it easier, so you can't really screw it up too bad once you get the highs and the lows and the pauses. Yeah. He and Shatner are the oddest pausing actors of all time.
Yeah.
But no, there's a reason that Christopher Walken pauses differently. He eliminates in dialogue. He eliminates.
Oh no!
He eliminates all punctuation. So when he's reading it, he's just going along and just he'll put in a pause and he'll stop.
Oh, okay.
He never pays attention to the thing. So it's like that's why he has like two words together. So if you're reading like
I see what you're saying.
Dialogue.
But isn't Shatner classically trained, whereas Walken he comes out of the method school, right?
Yeah. He comes from New York. He's method. He knows how to dance and all that stuff. He's pretty good.
Yeah. My favorite.
Shatner was trained in Shakespeare.
You want to do Shatner? You got to watch Maurice LaMarche's YouTube on how to do Shatner. He does he says Shatner will pause at very inappropriate times, and it feels like he's holding back the dialogue, and then suddenly it will all burst forward. For example, he'll say, "Start 8, 2, 3, 5, 9, 8, 2, 5."
5, 2, 3. Well, that's actually a little bit of like Shakespeare, the way they deal with Shakespeare, and they actually hit punctuation. So he'll go punctuation and hit it. It's like. So it's I'll do this in Walken. Good news, Andy Jensen, you have been pre-approved for Wow. Credit cards with no hidden fees. Here's your offer. Okay. So he just bowls over any kind of actual.
Now here's a challenge, Andy, and this is definitely total nerd out, but I think you can handle this. You have Christopher Walken as Augustus and I Claudius.
Oh, that would be
replacing the role by Brian Blessed, and yet now again, the only people who are going to get that reference, there's about 8 people worldwide, Mike.
3 people out of 100,000.
Yeah, at the most.
I don't get that reference.
Well, I Claudius, it's about the Claudio Julians, having a swinging time in Rome.
Yeah,
and
right.
And just the character of Augustus in that is he's an interesting character, and to have someone like Walken do it, because it's totally wrong, it's completely inappropriate.
Or have Walken do Caligula to Claudius.
I could see him doing I actually could see him doing Caligula.
But now this is if you're a nerd. This is the ultimate nerd thing because
Right.
if you watch PBS.
How about this
is
one?
Where it all came from, PBS.
How about walking doing the tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow?
Yeah.
From Macbeth.
Yeah, one of the funniest ads I saw was for North Dakota Prairie TV, and it showed this father out there working the backhoe, with a horse and stuff like this.
Right.
And the son comes out saying, "Father, dear, time for dinner." I gotta get that kid off of NPR. Those British comedies are really getting to that kid. He's got to learn dialogue,
Yeah, well, there you go.
So what other voices do you do? You do Shatner, you do Walken, you do Stewart. What other ones?
I used to be able to do a lot of them, but they're all falling into the same sort of pattern. So, like James Mason I used to do, but nobody knows who James Mason is. James Mason.
God, I love James Mason impressions.
And
but yeah, they're right up there with Max von Sydow impressions, though.
Yeah, If you do a great Max von Sydow, you can make this world. You can write your ticket. You
can print money. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can.
There is a
now I kind of switched to trying to do not just
there's
Muppets, but trying to do like characters like from for the modern kids TV shows and the adult TV shows.
Well, also
like Squidbillies or Morty and Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
The useful thing though, if you want to do characterizations that aren't necessarily related to a famous person, is the job that Andy and I both have, where you're driving people.
All right.
Because you do get to hear various intonations. Now, whether you can bring that forward in a comedic way, that's maybe you can, maybe you can't. Yeah. But it is an interesting way to sort of understand the inflections and the way other people talk.
Yeah.
Well,
and then you can bring that out.
Well, so you could do like Shakespeare with a sort of ghetto lingo to it.
Yeah, the pentamic
To be or not to be, I ask myself again.
You should learn like Family Guy or something. Maybe
Stewie's good.
That would hit with a lot with the younger people. They all know who Family Guy is.
All right, so I'll work on Griffin and I'll work on Stewie.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Stewie's
Nothing
good.
says respect me like a severed head on a stick. I mean,
Mom, Stewie,
dead,
mom.
dead.
I want to kill you. Oh, pancakes. Oh, God, I love my pancakes.
You see, again, it's sort of like it's almost James Mason.
Yeah, it actually is. Yeah.
You can bring James Mason back from beyond the grave here.
Resurrect him. Yeah.
My favorite James Mason impression. I used to work with a comic in LA. His name was Greg Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Left
I've
comedy.
heard of him.
I've heard of him too.
He left comedy to go into acting and has done pretty well as a character actor, as most comics are able to do. But he did a James Mason that just cracked me up. He would do a James Mason. Yeah, he would do James Mason. And then he'd go, all right, now here's my impression of James Mason as Mo Howard.
Knock, knock.
And he would do the 1970s comic turn for impressions. So I go, here you go. So he'd turn around. And and he'd go, Larry, Curly, I'm going to have to poke you both in the eyes now.
You're going to have to poke you both in the eyes now.
I love that.
Please stay.
That would make me. I could see that 3 dozen times, and I would laugh just as hard the 30th time as I did the first time. It just cracked me up. Larry, Curly, I'm going to have to poke you both in the eyes now.
That's pretty good. That's good.
Oh shit!
Oh, and who didn't love Mason in Lolita? Which is one of the most uncomfortable movies of all time. Shelley Winters is in that as well. I mean, and it's just that movie is nowadays we call it what? Cringe. I mean,
well, the whole book was very popular.
That gave me an idea for what I think could be a pretty popular web cast or a YouTube page. And that would be is you have people getting their children, you guys, maybe not with the children, Wes has children, but get children and watch films with them that they haven't seen that you'd like.
Oh my God.
See. And if you guys know, I mean, if you guys know some, I know Andy and Jason don't have children, but if you could find, like, you have nephews or nieces or, you know, neighbors or something like that, and we would just pick a film, we'd go out and make sure it's accessible to watch it on streaming services or something, and then watch it with these youngsters, and then come back and we have like a 6 to 8 person review of the thing, and just talk about it. Wouldn't that be it? And we could edit that down to make it chunkable.
Well, I think you'll have an
opportunity. Film are you talking? Well, like what kind of film are you talking about? Just
not The Devil and Miss Jones.
No.
No, I said not The Devil and Miss Jones.
I'm talking about. I would like to sit down with my boys and watch Cool Hand Luke. One of them.
Yes,
Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing
Saddles, man.
Just films that were impactful to us. The Godfather.
Yeah.
Oh,
but my son had seen Godfather 2 because it came on. I go, oh no, you got to watch it. I'm like,
I'm trying to think of a really good.
Now you can't unsee that. You should have seen Godfather before.
Yeah, it's
what's the sports movie that has Burt Reynolds playing the quarterback who goes to prison?
The Longest Yard.
And Eddie Albert, who plays an absolute monster and plays him really well.
Yes.
In that movie.
Well, they got the remake out now with it.
Oh my God.
The remake was with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler has ruined 2 very good films.
It's a complete.
What's the other one?
I'd love to sit down with my kids and watch Caddyshack.
Yes. Animal House.
Stripes, the uncut version.
Stripes, and then get together on a streamcast, and we could even give it a different name. And I just think it would do much better than 4 or 5 old white guys talking about the good old days of comedy.
Well,
the other one he ruined was Mr. Deeds.
Yes.
Have you ever seen? You guys ever seen? Have you ever seen the movie They Shoot Horses, Don't They?
Oh yeah,
wonderful, crazy movie.
Yeah,
it was.
And when
some of these films were so layered, you know what I mean? And I saw them. I didn't see them when they came out.
Fonda.
I saw
and who was the actor?
Gig Young.
Gig Young, the alcoholic.
Gig Young was the actor. He was the older actor, but
who killed himself.
The guy that shot her.
Yeah.
He was a young actor. He only went to like 4 or 5 different films.
What was the film Gig Young was supposed to do, but he couldn't stay sober, so they had to hire somebody else and became a huge vehicle for that other actor. I'm trying to think of
I don't know, but that's probably why, because Gig Young killed himself in 74, 75. He killed his wife and himself.
One was the last one he did.
I mean, you can almost.
Hold on, I'm going to ask Google right now. Right. What opportunities did Gig Young miss out on because of his drinking? So let's see how AI Google is now. Huh?
We can ask my mother.
Google just asked me a question. Do you want an AI-powered overview of this question?
Oh,
there you go.
Wow.
Say if we get a Ouija board out, we can contact my mother from beyond the grave. She would have the answer. She was always the person that guys. You remember this?
Yeah. Here's the film he was supposed to be in.
What?
Blazing Saddles.
Oh my God!
Wow.
He was supposed to be the Waco Kid.
Gig Young.
Gig Young. Let me see if I can find the story on this.
Wow, I mean, because I mean, that's
I think it was his ex-wife that said that. Hold on, let me find it. Here it is. Was Gig Young supposed to be? Here it is. Casting in Blazing Saddles. He was cast in Blazing Saddles as a Waco Kid. He was replaced by Mel Brooks with Gene Wilder shortly after filming because the alcoholic Young was suffering from delirium tremors on the set.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, he was the original Waco Kid.
Because Gene Wilder, he wrote Young Frankenstein in the main.
Right.
I know that, Well,
he had been on the producers for Mel Brooks before.
Yes, he had. I don't know if he collaborated with, because Pryor is the one who wrote, for the most part, Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
But he took his name off. I don't know if it became Alan Smithy or whatever the sort of, nom de plume one uses when they leave a movie, and it still gets used. It's not me.
That was me. Somebody. It says spam on my phone. I like that new service now where they can detect spam numbers.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Very useful.
I like answering them.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, I do.
I can just hear Wesley. I can just hear Wesley going, "Yeah, what are you wearing?" Yeah.
Can we just direct them all to you? That'd be great.
No, they call me. You talk to me, I listen. You talk, you speak, I listen.
You must be retired, Wes. I love it.
Why do you call me in Nigeria? Why are you calling me in Nigeria?
Yeah, what do you call it now? What do you call? I call you back. I call you back. Yeah.
I'm calling you from Boston. That's right, Boston. Okay.
Are you telling me I have another prince uncle who died in Africa?
Prince who wants to give me $10 million in gold.
Now, this is at the point where I need to start taking language lessons from Yogi.
Well, Yogi, for his plus side, finally backed up on the mic. So,
Who's that?
Yogi finally backed up on the mic.
Yeah, now we got to get Lisa to do that.
Yeah.
Well, it would help if we had some stage, because the PAs are out in front of us by what, 10 feet, 8, 9 feet, something like that.
Yeah.
And there's no stage PA, so you're really not getting a good sense.
Oh, like
I mean, Mark, you're up there all the time. What do you think?
Yeah.
How do you like the way your voice sounds?
I have trained myself not to eat the mic. I just, for one, the material I was doing when I started required me to get quiet and loud. And so I knew there wasn't going to be a sound tech at most of the places I was working. So I learned most of those mics are such that they pick up from as far away as you can have it.
Yeah.
But they blast it when you get too close. So I always held it. Well, that trick that we use about, getting your hand around it and putting your thumb on your chin type of thing.
Yeah.
That's not, so if I needed to get louder, I could bring it up 3 inches. If I need to get quieter, I could take it back 6 inches.
Exactly.
You just learned how to do that, because most of these clubs are not going to change how their mics are set up. They're set up for making announcements.
Yeah.
Tonight's specials are the hamburger with the chip.
Exactly. And the way, Mark, and Jason, the way to kind of do it is the way we do in the theater, is that you go loud enough to it you can hear it reverb back on you from the back wall.
Right.
So if you just sit there, you say your line. If you can hear it from the back wall, you're speaking loud enough.
Right.
And then you adjust your mic to that.
You know what? I think you guys should teach some of this shit in your classes.
Well, I'm sure Mark, you must cover it in the Unclub, don't you, Mark?
Yeah, I thought we covered it. Well, we did. You know what? We didn't in January because we weren't using the sound system in there.
Oh, okay.
In that theater, but I mean, that's
in general, just how to walk up on the stage, how to take the mic and put the. Well, you did do that. Take the stand behind you. Yeah.
My first open mic,
where I hold the mic and how far to hold the mic, and what you were saying, louder, quieter, louder.
The only thing I don't want to.
I'm trying not to excite Jason here when I'm doing this, but
yeah.
If you were 50 years younger, we could talk. But
yeah.
So
that's why Jason still drives for Uber in his off time.
Oh, you guys want to start ganging up on me? I'll take on all 3 of you old men. By the time I'm done with you, you'll be lying in a heap of your own fluids, crying and yet mildly satisfied.
I do that anyhow.
Well, you're retired. I mean, like I say, do you even get out of the house robe anymore? I mean, is there any point in living?
Not today, I didn't. No.
Wesley, I need you to. Here's what you need to do. You need to watch Stephen Wright, and the fellow that died a few years ago that does the one-liners.
Dangerfield? Rodney Dangerfield?
No. He was a young guy.
I just started watching Geechee.
Geechee's another good one. But all 3 of those guys like being on stage, even though they were sort of doing sad sack type, woe is me type material.
Right.
You can tell they love being on stage. The problem with your sad sack stuff is the audience is starting to feel like, oh my God, maybe this guy needs to get off stage and get some help. We should not be laughing at him, but you got to give a little bit of a smirk so that people understand that you're enjoying yourself. Stephen Wright. Oh, what is that kid's name? My son loves him.
Not well. I won't say the heroin addict, but okay, now we've narrowed it down.
It
right?
was the heroin addict.
Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg.
Hedberg. There we go. Yeah.
Hedberg.
With
Hedberg did
Brad
very-
Wenzel reminds me a lot of him.
Brad Wenzel is another one. Very
Yeah.
low key, very self-deprecating, all one-liners.
Right.
But you look at them and you just saw a little bit of a smirk to let the audience know,
Right.
I know what I'm doing.
I love
and
that.
And I'm having a good time.
I'm
Because
going
I
to throw
think
an
what
older
did you-
guy out there too. If you can see some videos of Will Rogers.
Well, Will
Yeah.
Rogers, yeah. Will Rogers
He has
wasn't that
perfect timing, kind of a smirky sort of look, but he's very, very
Oh,
one-liner type.
really?
one-liner. Yeah.
Well,
Of course, you need
the
a
old-
lariat and a cowboy hat, but other
yeah.
than that,
Well,
yeah.
I've got one of those. Actually, I got both. But never mind that.
Yeah, you use yours for different purposes. Okay.
Well, it came with the
Andy,
bathing
also,
suit.
Andy,
What
are
was
you
I
watching
supposed
your
to do?
videos at all?
Have I watched my videos?
Yeah.
Not lately. Have you sent them to me?
I will. I will send them to you because the thing that you need to do is you need to cut out the pauses that you add
Yeah.
because they're not
Yes,
really adding. They're not really adding to the jokes. All they're doing is allowing you to remember what you're going to say next.
Yeah.
And
So when those pauses are put in, it's not like I'm, dramatically putting the pause in with a written line. It's like
Well,
I'm going like, what the hell am I going to
What
say?
else am I going to say next?
also, when you're switching up these characters with other known characters, it's fucking genius. The thought of like you doing William Shatner on the bridge of the Enterprise as Jimmy Stewart.
That is funny.
You see, something like that. I mean that could work. That could work rather nicely.
Those are some
Christopher
of these
Walken,
things to
Christopher
do.
Walken reading anything out of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, you could make that work really well. Jimmy Stewart having his way with Florence Henderson. Now that would really be good.
I don't know. Yeah, but do young people even know about Shakespeare?
None of these people. They don't know about kids.
Can they stream Shakespeare? So,
You know why they don't? You know why they don't know about Shakespeare? They don't know about Shakespeare because their parents all got together and said, "Well, we hated Shakespeare, didn't we?" Yeah, I think we. All right. Well, let's not let them.
Yeah, right. Let's not bore them. Right. Well. Yeah.
I'm sad to report they're dumb as boxes of hammers and nowhere near as useful. I honestly, I've reached that age. I've become calcified old man, so I've joined your ranks, gentlemen. Of being just
are you chasing people off your lawn?
Pardon me?
That?
I said, are you chasing people off your lawn too? Or what?
Here and there, but at least I can still pee without effort. So as long as I haven't crossed that Rubicon just yet, that's. I mean, as a German, believe me, those things are important to us for various reasons.
Peeing has not become difficult. I'm constantly trying to pee.
Well, I mean,
pee,
if you're
one run pee,
if you're in the midst of something that could be classified as German art theater, you don't want to be. Hold on, oh, give me a second here. No, it's on the way. Really, just don't move. No, stay the way you are. There's an extra 10 in it for you. Don't break the. No, keep it together.
That sounds like sex to me, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you're an Ipsy, so you'd know about that sort of thing. The only difference is, of course.
I'm not an Ipsy.
Oh, really? So you're used to doing with people outside of the family tree.
I'm a downriver guy. Yep.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Where downriver?
Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, that explains so much.
Mark, in fact, Mark, I used to do open mic with you 10, 12, 13 years ago, right across the street from my house. Right by where there's a Walmart, and I forget the name of the bar.
I can't remember. Yeah, it was Carl Johnson that used to run that. I remember that.
Yeah.
God, I haven't heard Carl's name in ages.
Carl's not doing bad. He's still getting, he hasn't quit his day job, but I mean, he gets enough paid work to call himself professional, So he's more than one mic nighter, and he's got a pretty good podcast, I'd say. Okay. And
ours is actually going remarkably well tonight for some reason.
Yeah, Sam is in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all wearing our glasses.
We're all wearing our glasses.
Oh, right.
That helps. Yeah. Yeah, and Sam just got LASIK or whatever he got, cataract surgery. So so now he's able to go and buy the glasses that aren't prescription, so he can spend $8 and get stylish ones now. So he can change glasses all the time.
Right at
We can't do
Walgreens.
that. We pay
Walgreens.
150 just for the prescription lens, you know.
Sam should know that just because he's not here and he's feeling well, we're still going to take time to savage him and say horrible, horrible, unrepeatable things about him. So, well, at least I know I am.
All right. Well,
He wouldn't have it any other way.
Whatever puts you to sleep, buddy.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
you sound just like my roommate back in Jackson. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, did I go for the low hanging fruit again?
That's
You
what
are
my
the
wife calls
low-hanging
my
fruit.
balls nowadays.
I am the low hanging fruit thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
that's right. Yes,
Uh,
that's what they call me.
Hey,
Low hanging.
low-hanging fruit.
Speaking of that, I think for the Unclub, it's getting busy again. The Unnies
Yes.
are October 22nd.
Yes.
I expect all of you guys to be presenters.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I've included all of you and the people on the review of these things. I'm going to put out a list. I've only got 24 trophies, so I'd like to keep it to 24 categories.
Right.
And the last two times we did this, it was just hilarious and a riot. I don't know if you guys were at those shows or not.
I was at least one of them. I can remember at the theater. Chili was there.
Yeah,
I
Chili.
think it was the very first one, in fact. Yes.
Yeah, Chili's the one that came up with the idea of doing an award show. And
In fact, I remember he looked at all of us and said, go fuck yourselves. and then we gave him a big round of applause.
Third weekend of October too is like no award shows. Well, country music, but they have one every 3 weeks. But I'm talking about most of the award shows.
So explain this. And how does this go off? Like, explain the Unnies.
The Unnies. Well, we come out. We go, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Normally we have the Unclub, but tonight's a special event. Tonight we are honoring the best of the unbest. Tonight is the Unnie Awards. And this year, after I do my opener, Tommy Cook has agreed to write a song specifically for the Unnies. So there's going to be one based on that. And I asked him, we talked about it. He's going to do it based on, it's going to be based on the old Chicago tune, Old Days.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember the tune or not. The Chicago Transit Authority. Anyway, he's going
to bring in the brass section and all too.
Nah, we'll just. But no, it's an unaward show. We don't want it to be. We don't want it to be too good. We're trying to. We're trying to do the opposite.
I got your back there, buddy. Okay.
Well, we are in Ipsy after all, so.
Well, that's half the beauty of it.
Yeah.
So, what kind of different awards?
Well, let me see if I can bring up my list here. I've got Lisa and I have been working on the list. She wanted to create a Google form and have it go public, and I go,
You know, we've been blessed to have some really good female comics come through. Past year.
I said, I want it to be funny. I don't think we really need public trying to help us be funny. I think we can be funny on our own.
On our own, yeah.
Okay. All right.
And Tim sent me a posting that I made in 2014 asking for categories in the Unclub Facebook group. And he goes, he says, here's the categories from 2014. He goes, those aren't the original categories. Those were just me asking for people to come up with categories. So, all right, here, I got it up right now. Here's the categories for the unawards. The Unnies. All right, what have we got here? Now these are in alphabetical order, and we don't have to give them out in this order, but this is just the award and the brief description of it. Unabashed. The most unabashed, that is the least embarrassed, extra points if they should be embarrassed. Unabridged. Adds too much unnecessary detail to their jokes. We had no nominees in 2014, so that wasn't a category, but that's one that we tried to award. Unappreciated. Puts in the work that is often not recognized. Now, that's a good one. That's not a mock one. That's unappreciated. That's unappreciated. Okay. Unassuming. Accepts roles and conditions and rolls with the punches. Unassuming. Most unassuming. Most unavailable. Most likely to show up late or not at all. Let's see.
Yeah. And if you were here, we would give you this award. But
Oh no, I'm sorry. That wasn't. I got that one wrong. That was unavailable. Should be coming to the Unclub, but they don't. So that we nominate people that we'd like to see at the Unclub, but we don't.
We'll have Miss Little Feather.
Unbelievable. This is an open category. You nominate somebody, give the reason why, and something that's unbelievable that they do, and we'll nominate them for the unbelievable category. Unbookable, self-explanatory, and I already have Joe Weagle down in that category.
Reason number 310 when it can't be booked. Okay.
Do you have one for most organized? Because he'd fit on that category too.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what we get here. Most unconscious. I love that most likely to show up drunk or stoned.
Oh heck, that's a good one.
That's his.
Yeah, but in the first group we had James Brady, and we had Tanner.
We had Bruce Pike,
Tanner Oliver. We had John Mullenix. We had a lot of guys showing up stoned. So that was a pretty easy one to get nominees for. Most undaunted, no fear, and takes chances. I got Blaine Drews down for that one already.
There you go.
The undead, old, but that career just seems to be chugging along. And last time it was me and Tim Henning, and I think we had Andy in that group. I can't remember, but old guys. Undeniable. This is the one who will definitely make it. I think Brad Wenzel won. Because he was undeniable. He was going to make it.
Yeah, was that before he made it big, or
that was before he went to the? That was before he went to the Montreal Comedy Festival and got his manager and all that stuff. Moved him out to LA and got him on TV and stuff. Undeterred. That is the comic that keeps on keeping on. Most persistent. I think Lisa Green probably right now could get nominated for that.
Yeah.
Unexplainable. This comic can't be explained. He's often described as, you have to see it. I got Joe Weagle in that one too right now.
Boy, Joe Weagle's going to clean up.
Unheralded. The best performer in relation to his or her status. That's usually a open micer that should be working, an opener that should be middling, a middling.
Well, that'd be like Jeff Ford. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, Jason Grant.
Yeah, there you
go. No, yeah, please.
I love it. This is my favorite one. Unintelligible. They might be funny, but we just have to be able to understand what they're saying.
Yogi.
Yeah.
Yogi.
The unmitigated Gall Award. That's to the comic with the most nerve. This one we didn't give out. This one in 2014 or 2015, but we had it on the list. The most unrestrained, best or worst look when not wearing a bra. We only give that.
Joe Weagle.
We only nominate that to guys.
Yeah.
The unshaven goes for best facial hair. So far, I got Andy Jensen, Happy Camper, and Yogi in those categories. I guess I could add Jason to that. I guess
I don't know.
You can add yourself to that.
But I think I know, but I can't. I would do that just to make it a category. Unsocial. They never stick around till the end of the show. I got Ned Rice so far in that one, but I'm sure we have others.
Blaine Drews too.
Blaine Drews has to take off too. I think that was the first time I ever saw Blaine at the end of the show.
Yeah. He only does that when he's close. When he goes up close to the end of the show. Yeah. If he goes up close to the beginning, he's out of there.
Yeah. The unsoiled, most unsoiled. That's still nice. They're still as nice as when they started. I guess we could call that the unjaded award too, but the unsoiled, unjaded, still as nice
tough.
As when they started. I know. Unsportsmanlike. That's self-explanatory.
Do you have any of the
comes in and wants to make the show all about them? Usually those aren't guys that come up very often, but I guess we could have some people for that.
Well, Coram used to do the crowd work, and he would roast all the comedians at the end of the show.
I love that. I
he was so good at it.
I asked him to do that every time he was. I go, "Do you mind roasting at the end?" He goes, "Nope." I go, "All right, got it." Unstable. Oh, here we go. I like
Corm
this.
Chic.
I like this one. Most unstable. The unstable word go. That would be stage time would be better served on a therapist's couch.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I got Steve Rossi and Joe
Rossi.
the Animal on that one.
Oh man,
Yes.
that's a toss up.
Oh, Joe the Animal and Steve Rossi.
Yeah, for unstable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely to be a spree shooter. Yeah.
Yeah. Untamed. Who goes crazy? Nominate that guy. The Untamed. That would be the guy that, kind of, that could be Joe Weagle.
Or Wombo.
This guy's really,
Wombo would be good for that. Yep.
Wombo, yeah.
Wombo.
Untested. They have promise, but they need stage time outside of the Unclub. We said that category came up because we did have a lot of people that only worked at the Unclub.
Yeah.
Untimely. Never sticks to their time. Well, I'll just write Steve Rossi in there right now.
Yeah.
In fact, that'd be the kind we always get a big laugh out of. Well, we really only have one nominee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with
You know
Steve,
who you are. Come on up.
I don't know with Steve if it's
you
like,
are.
If it's a broken watch being right twice a day, but every now and then he comes out with some one-liner that just kills me.
Oh, he's funny.
That latest one where he goes, "What if hell were blue?"
Go.
I love that one. That's just just I told him, I said just leave it with that. What if hell were blue? I mean, just because it changes everything. It's a great line.
That is a great line.
That's
yeah.
What
if hell were blue? We're jaded because we all hear the same stuff over and over from the same people. I mean, it's what we do and everything. But yeah, with a big enough a crowd in there, I've seen him do. Hell, I've seen Joe the Animal do well at Mark Ridley. So I mean,
yeah, he's been there a couple of. I just wiped out that whole sheet. Son of a bitch.
No!
Oh no!
No! Don't do that.
I see what I did. I scrolled it over to columns W, X, Y, and Z. So now here we go.
Don't. Oh yeah.
Whew, that was a close one. Now we're back. All right. Here we go.
That was close.
That was close.
All
right.
So when somebody comes up and takes their award, do they get to do a spiel, a couple jokes, or what?
Yep. In fact, one time we didn't tell people what their awards or whether they won or not. And we had some guys that were really good at. Bruce Pike was great.
Yeah.
Kurram Sheik was great.
Yep.
People that can think off the top of their heads. Yeah.
Jermaine Gephardt was great. I mean,
what's she doing lately?
She stopped doing comedy for a while. You know what? Her father died, and she has two brothers, and one who will need a supervisor and adult care for the rest of his life, and they really couldn't afford to put him into a center or a service like that until he turned old enough that Medicare would take care of it. So she had to, once the father died, they were kind of taking care of him at the end too. She had to kind of take care of the other brother
because she was always so wonderfully offbeat.
Yes.
She just kind of staccato, just a little undertoned, and yeah. I mean, I miss her. She was good. Hopefully, she finds her way back.
All right, here we go. Untested. Oh, I already did that one. That we just did. Untimely doesn't stick their time. Let me put Rossi in there.
Yeah. There's only one person for that. Yeah.
Here's a category I liked: unwashed, unhoused, and unbalanced.
Well, that'll be Joe pretty soon after the eviction.
That'd be
those are the walk-in guests. Now, in the old days, at the mix, we used to have people that would come in and find out that we had beer and wine, and we tell them, "No, those are only for the performers." And so they go, "I'll get on stage," just to get just to get some alcohol. And so we had We had that one lady that came, and often they were funnier than any of the other acts on the show. That's the fun thing about it.
Boy, oh boy.
We had the one guy whose family owned the Chicken Bruce Broaster up the street. We had that one woman, though. She was just a straight up wino, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's what that kid. I don't think we have anybody like that now that we're at the ale house, because they don't allow people like that to hang out there. So
Right.
That's true.
Well, happy
and category, and the last category is most unwitting. Circumstances have put them in a position that stunts their career. So in other words, that's not anything that you'd want to give anybody. That'd be something I'd give myself or something. You know what I mean? It's just, that sounds like kind of a cruel thing to say to somebody. Hey, you'd be great if it wasn't that your life was fucked up, you know?
Well, it's just that it's true in so many cases. I mean,
it is. Right.
I mean, sadly, I mean, it's like me when I look in a mirror and I realize this goddamn thing is working. And it's like,
all right, now
shit.
that's the past categories, and the
okay.
New categories.
I have. Here's just a list that I did, and let's see which ones. I'm gonna have to merge these two because some of them are already there. No, these are the same ones. Hold on, let me go to the next list here.
So there's always like most vestigial, you know, the comedian who just isn't needed.
All right, here's Lisa's list, which I found out this weekend. I just found out this weekend. She's been doing a list separate from mine, but we'll just have to merge them because they're pretty much. She's got unavoidable comic who has a consistent track record for attendance at the club. So I did people that don't show up. She does people that do show up. I don't think she gets the part of this.
Yeah.
Well.
Unchanging comic who never has new material. I like that category.
Yeah,
that's Joe Animal.
Yeah. Oh, there's another one. Only one nominee. Uncomfortable comic who frequently splits the room with their jokes. Unexplained, also known as the What the Fuck Award, comic whose jokes make no sense. The unfettered, unclubbed comic who has gone on to achieve great things. Bonus points for dojos. The unholy comic who you wouldn't invite to church.
Jason.
Yeah.
I like this one too. She said unladylike, and then parentheses, only non-male comics. And then it would be the unladylike female, and I guess the opposite of that would be the unmasculine male, but she didn't put that one in. Unmoving comic who performs old school material that would have been fresher in the 70s.
That's me. Yeah.
Who was that guy we had in the original mix that did that? Hey, he wore this kind of like a straw hat type thing, and he kind of came. He was real short, and he kind of held his shoulders and his elbows in, and he kind of like did a point thing. Hey! It was very old. It was very old school. It was like watching some guy at a carnival, like a carnival barker.
We had that one. We had that one guy who was doing that really nice mix between Woody Allen and Stanley Myron Handelman. God, I can't remember his name. And he was unsure at first, but once he got good at what he was doing, and it didn't take long.
Are we talking about the Brother Theodore character that we had?
No.
The philosopher?
No. He was another guy. He was great. He was great. The guy who would come in and he started telling these stories of ancient Greece and ancient Rome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Professor.
Yeah. He was
professor
the guy. I looked at him once and I said, someone needs to plug in the George Perot stunt double. Of which Mark got that and no one else did, because who was going to get a George Perot reference?
That was for me. Thank you. I loved it.
Yes. Comedy for one.
Oh, here's another one of Lisa's. Unphotogenic. And we were talking about this this category with Tim, and she says comic who is frustrating to photograph. And Tim right away goes, Wes Partridge.
Yeah. Yeah. Unphotogenic, that's me.
All right, so I'm recommending this book by Maria Bamford. You guys got to get this. This is really good.
All right, I've heard about this one.
Oh, there we go.
She's good. She's really good. You got to watch your
Jump
comedy.
record.
Oh, you know what? And thanks for doing that, Andy, because I just noticed I wasn't even looking. We're out of time. So nice plug at the end of the show. Please like and subscribe to the new Unclub page that we put this on now. I learned a lot of things at the Motor City Comedy Festival about digital content, and I hope to start applying those things. And I'll talk to each of you guys offline here. We'll talk a little bit after the show now too, but we've run out of time. Really want to keep it to an hour. If we can't keep things to an hour, then maybe we shouldn't be doing this. So anyway, I'm going to end it now. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me bring my music back on because I love the music that comes on here. Here we go. Oh, and I found a new piece of music that doesn't have any feeds too. So not this one, but maybe next week I'll do. Anyway, so good night, everybody. We're here every Monday night, 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock. And then you can catch us all the time on The Off Site YouTube. I just had a sign in front of one of those. I can't remember which one. And we'll be getting on all the social media because after what I learned this weekend, YouTube's on all of them anyway. So thanks for joining us. You guys stick around. We're going to end this, and we'll be back in just a second.